Hey Bougie click. Welcome to today's discussion, where we're diving into a topic that's both complex and crucial: the hostility faced by happily married Black women. In a world where struggle is often romanticized, why do these women encounter suspicion rather than celebration? We're unpacking the layers of envy, cultural expectations, and unresolved pain that can lead to this dynamic. Join us as we explore the societal pressures and cultural narratives that shape these experiences. If you're ready to challenge norms and redefine what Black love can look like, stick around. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful conversations. Let's get into it.
I'ma make you a fan.
Why do happily married Black women face hostility? There's a silent tug-of-war happening behind closed doors, online threads, and passive-aggressive girl talks, and it's time we call it what it is. Within parts of the Black community, particularly among single Black women, happily married Black women are often met with suspicion, bitterness, or outright disdain. In a community that has survived generational trauma, systemic disenfranchisement, and family fragmentation, you'd think the sight of happily married Black women would spark pride. Celebration. A collective finally. But instead, we see eye rolls, accusations of fakery, and whispers of delusion. From hood novels to TikToks that mimic to-be movie chaos, there's a collective you go girl energy every time a woman sticks beside a man with 3 baby mamas, a criminal record, and zero emotional intelligence. If the drama's high and the tears flow like wine, it's considered real love. Healthy relationships? Not exciting enough. They lack the trauma bond that many mistake for deep connection. The irony? These same spaces preach Black love and community. But when that love actually manifests, in the form of committed marriages, it's dismissed as suspicious or fake. Many single Black women don't trust the narrative of happy Black marriages, especially when the wife is confident and unbothered. And the why? It's deeper than envy, it's unresolved pain. The pick-me witch hunt, lazy and weaponized. Say the words "my husband" too often, and suddenly you're a traitor. You're accused of being a pick-me, a patriarchal puppet, or someone who sold her soul for a ring and a title. Never mind if you're deeply loved and respected by your partner, or if your union is built on trust and equality. The moment a Black woman expresses joy in her marriage, it's interpreted by some single peers as bragging, as condescension. There's no space for her to simply exist without accusations of superiority or desperation. This response isn't about the married woman, it's about the insecurity her happiness triggers. When someone's entire identity is rooted in resilience without romance, any example of joyful partnership can feel like an insult. There's nothing inherently wrong with wanting to be chosen. Everyone wants to be loved and prioritized by someone they cherish. But in this twisted dynamic, pick-me isn't about courtship, it's code for "you're making me uncomfortable by challenging my worldview." A happily married woman who affirms her love for her man without shame? She's often accused of performing for male approval. But let's flip that. Isn't it also a performance to constantly trash the idea of healthy relationships to maintain social clout in your circle? The term pick-me has morphed into a silencing weapon. It's rarely used to critique problematic behavior, it's used to shut down any woman who speaks positively about her relationship, her husband, or her role as a wife. Misery has a sisterhood. There's an unspoken loyalty among some single Black women that revolves around shared struggle. This isn't just camaraderie, it's survival. But when someone breaks free of that struggle, the bond feels betrayed. Instead of celebrating her as proof that love is possible, her happiness becomes a threat to the group's emotional stability. Marriage, especially a thriving one, disrupts the narrative that all Black men are unworthy or unavailable. And for some, it's easier to believe the system is broken than to admit that a sister might have chosen better, healed deeper, or simply got luckier. Happily married Black women become lightning rods because they reflect what some fear isn't possible for them. And instead of interrogating that fear or healing from past relationship trauma, many default to projecting. She's lying. Her man cheats. She's in denial. Just wait, it'll crash. These aren't critiques. They're curses, rooted in resentment. There's an underlying cultural pressure to center struggle, to lead with suffering. If a Black woman isn't visibly battling demons in her relationship, she's not relatable. But what happens when peace, joy, and love are her reality? Suddenly, she's out of pocket. Off code. And the community turns on her. The resentment toward wives. Happily married Black women are often met with thinly veiled contempt. They're accused of flexing, lying, exaggerating. The idea that they found loving, emotionally mature men who show up consistently is treated as fiction. Or worse, provocation. Some of it is rooted in jealousy. Some in trauma. Some in unhealed wounds from watching generations of women carry families alone. But instead of turning that pain into healing, some turn it into hostility. And the message is clear: if I couldn't have it, you shouldn't either. The fear of losing relevance. In a culture where many single Black women have built platforms, brands, and friendships around their singlehood, someone who transitions into marriage may inadvertently jeopardize the glue that held those spaces together. Her priorities shift. She may no longer be available for long rants about dusty men. She may decline certain outings or conversations out of respect for her partner. And that evolution, while personal, is often treated as abandonment. Suddenly, she's not one of us anymore. She's not relatable. She's positioned as having changed, not because she's grown, but because she's now viewed through the lens of betrayal. Glorifying chaos, shaming commitment. Meanwhile, let a celebrity get a woman pregnant with zero plans to commit, and it's "yes sis, secure the bag." The praise is loud. The comments are flooded with encouragement. There's a warped heroism bestowed upon the baby mama saga, as if the struggle validates her existence more than peace ever could. Athletes and entertainers become the holy grail. And the women chasing them? They're applauded. No one questions how many feelings are faked, how many babies are leveraged, how many stories are glamorized that would leave the average woman broken. The chase is glorified. The chaos is normalized. And stability? It's suspicious. Struggle love gets a standing ovation. Let a Black woman pour her soul into a man who refuses to grow, and she's called loyal. Let her endure infidelity, emotional neglect, or flat-out financial leeching, and she's praised for holding it down. Because in some circles, love only feels real if it's hard. Toxic. Exhausting. Why do we romanticize resilience but demonize peace? Why do we applaud surviving dysfunction but question thriving in harmony? The Black community has internalized struggle as a badge of honor, forgetting that liberation includes emotional abundance and romantic ease. Baby mama worship, a badge of honor or a symptom? Motherhood without marriage isn't new, but the celebration of becoming a baby mama, especially for a man with status, has reached a peak. If he's an athlete, rapper, or local hustler with street clout, bearing his child becomes a social flex. Women are applauded not for the love they receive, but for the struggle they endure and the child support they secure. The moment a woman posts her bump with a cryptic caption like "God's timing," social media throws a parade. Nobody asks if there's love, loyalty, or stability, just applause for the aesthetic of chaos and the illusion of influence. Meanwhile, the emotional labor, financial instability, and lack of partnership are brushed under the rug. Hood celebrity culture, why promiscuity pays. There's a strange adoration for women who chase and catch the attention of ballers, entertainers, and street legends. Promiscuous behavior isn't just accepted, it's glamorized when there's a flashy result. The lifestyle is romanticized, and the drama becomes marketable content. Reality shows, viral tweets, and Instagram reels serve as trophies for toxicity. She got cheated on, left to raise kids alone, dragged through the mud, then dropped a fire makeup tutorial and booked a Fashion Nova promo. Now she's labeled resilient, bossed up, and inspirational. Accountability? Nah. Struggle makes her relatable. Her pain becomes aspirational. The applause for dysfunction, where is the standard? There's collective excitement when a woman gets pregnant out of wedlock and blasts her child's father for being a deadbeat within months. Put him on child support echoes through the comment section like a war chant. The deeper conversation around generational cycles, emotional wounds, or the value of intentional love rarely surfaces. Instead, pain is the currency. The messier the situation, the more visibility it gains. The expectation that love should cost everything, sanity, peace, dignity, is pervasive. Meanwhile, women who want structure, loyalty, and emotional safety are labeled boring or unrealistic. Where the jealousy comes from. Singlehood isn't a flaw. But when society bombards women with messages that equate marriage with status, value, and success, especially in the Black community, where healthy relationships are portrayed as rare, jealousy can creep in. It's not just about wanting a ring. It's the perception that another woman got chosen, is living in peace, and somehow escaped the emotional labor of dating struggles. While not every single Black woman harbors envy, many do wrestle with quiet resentment, often rooted in insecurity, fear of missing out, and society's pressure to win in the relationship arena. Here's what fuels the envy. Comparison culture. She got a man who actually shows up, so what's wrong with me? Unhealed wounds. Many are still unpacking past heartbreak and rejection. Scarcity mindset. The belief that good Black men are rare turns every happy couple into a trigger. Perceived power shift. A married woman with emotional, financial, and relational stability disrupts the idea that all women are in the struggle together. Why interracial marriages trigger even more shade. The idea that love should only be found within one's race runs deep in some spaces. So, when a Black woman steps outside those boundaries and finds joy, fulfillment, and genuine partnership with a non-Black man, some single women feel personally attacked. Here's what fuels that extra layer of envy. Feeling passed over by Black men, some internalize her interracial relationship as confirmation that Black men no longer choose Black women. Misplaced loyalty standards. There's an expectation that strong, proud Black women should exclusively date within the race as a form of cultural solidarity. Threatened identity politics. Her happiness with a non-Black partner challenges the idea that Black love is the only valid love. How jealousy shows up. Let's talk symptoms, because it's not always overt. Fake concern. She seems happy, but we don't know what goes on behind closed doors. Translation, I hope it's not as good as it looks. Hypercriticism. She changed ever since she got married, she's not humble anymore. Translation, she stopped shrinking herself, and that threatens me. Humor as shade. Well, let's see how long that lasts. Translation, I'm projecting my own fear of relationship failure. Isolation games. She can't relate to us single girls anymore. Translation, her joy makes me uncomfortable, so I'll create distance. Backhanded compliments. She looks happy, but I could never date someone who doesn't understand my struggle. Translation, I'm uncomfortable that she found emotional safety outside the box I put us all in. Exoticizing the relationship. They're cute or whatever, but it's giving fetish. Translation, if I can't celebrate it, I'll try to undermine it. Faux woke critiques. It's giving he likes Black women because they're strong. Translation, I'm projecting stereotypes to explain something I don't understand or envy. Cultural gatekeeping. She can't speak on Black love anymore. Translation, her joy disqualifies her from being part of the conversation. Coping mechanisms, how jealousy gets repackaged. The jealousy doesn't always stay hidden. It gets repurposed into behaviors meant to soothe bruised egos or validate a single status that feels increasingly heavy. Over-identification with singlehood culture. Some dive headfirst into hyper-independence, glamorizing being alone as the ultimate form of strength, when really, they're just tired of hope feeling futile. Example, posting about how relationships distract women from their purpose, right after seeing a married friend thriving in hers. Pretending marriage is a trap. They speak about marriage as if it's restrictive, toxic, or outdated, not because they believe it, but because they feel left out. Example, marriage is just legalized stress. I'd rather keep my freedom and peace. Over-sexualization and performative confidence. Some mask jealousy behind curated thirst traps or declarations of being unbothered and hard to impress, when the truth is, they're deeply bothered. Example, subtweets like "men don't deserve me" posted during a married friend's anniversary dinner. Reclaiming joy without apology. The Black woman who finds happiness in her marriage shouldn't shrink to accommodate someone else's unresolved pain. She shouldn't perform struggle to maintain relatability. Her joy is not a weapon, it's a possibility. And the community does itself a disservice when it tries to silence or shame women who break generational curses through love, partnership, and vulnerability. If anything, these women should be amplified. Not because marriage is the goal, but because healing is. And in a world that's gaslit Black women out of dreaming big, loving boldly, and being adored loudly, it's radical to be loved and unashamed. What needs to change? Black love shouldn't be punished when it flourishes. Black women shouldn't be shamed for choosing peace over pain. It's time we stop handing gold stars to dysfunction and start recognizing that emotional stability is just as valuable, if not more, than a viral drama or a public takedown. Let's normalize joy. Normalize healthy love. Normalize saying "I'm happily married" without needing a disclaimer. Because healing the culture includes healing how we love. And that starts by respecting the women who are doing it right, even if quietly. The real flex is healing. If singlehood isn't what someone wants long-term, jealousy won't get them to the altar, reflection will. Building authentic connections, softening in the right places, and releasing bitterness is the shift that invites love in. In this climate, celebrating happily married Black women isn't just possible, it's essential. Because their peace isn't a threat. It's proof. Final word, love isn't meant to be war. We need to stop clapping for trauma and start rooting for healing. Baby mama culture shouldn't be the pinnacle of romantic achievement. Struggle love isn't noble, it's exhausting. And while it's easy to get caught up in the spectacle, we owe each other more than glorifying chaos in the name of connection. It's time to rewrite the narrative. Love should be intentional, supportive, and free of unnecessary wounds. Because truth be told, there's nothing empowering about pain packaged as power. If we claim to champion Black love, we need to stop vilifying the women who embody it. It's possible to be married, supported, soft, and still be a feminist. It's possible to have a husband who shows up daily and not be brainwashed. It's possible to build a life you love without checking for the approval of bitter spectators. Let married Black women live. Let them share their joy without being branded liars. Let them celebrate their husbands without being shamed. And maybe, just maybe, listen instead of looking for reasons to invalidate. Black women deserve soft love, solid marriages, and safe spaces to speak on it. The hate toward happily married women isn't about them, it's a mirror for those who haven't healed. And that healing isn't optional anymore. It's urgent. Thank you for joining us in this deep dive into the complex dynamics faced by happily married Black women. If this conversation resonated with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more thought-provoking content. Let's continue to uplift and support one another as we navigate the intricacies of love, community, and healing. Leave your thoughts in the comments below, we'd love to hear your perspectives. Until next time, take care, stay empowered, and keep the conversation going. What do you think? Do happily married Black women face hostility from single Black women? Let me know in the comments section. Stay bougie. Follow and support me. All links in bio. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Check description for more info. New episodes every day.